What's up, YouTube gamers? Bonfire here, and welcome to another edition of Gamecite. Today, I'm bringing you some of my first impressions of the highly anticipated game, Bioshock Infinite. And I've only played about 3 hours of the game, but I wanted to bring you some of my initial thoughts and impressions of what I've played so far. And the video that you're watching is actually the first 10 minutes or so of gameplay from the game, hence the spoiler warning at the beginning of the video. So, hope I don't spoil too much. I'm really trying my hardest not to, but I really just kind of wanted to show you guys some of the game and to bring us my initial thoughts. And starting with this introduction that you're watching, I really feel like it does a great job of setting the tone for the game. And they succeed at it because right out of the gate, you start asking questions, and it creates this mystery around what's going on. And some of the questions I asked myself from this introduction was, who are these people on the boat with me? Why aren't they talking to me? Who is this girl, Elizabeth, that I'm supposed to go after? What is everything in the box that I've got? What does it all mean? Who am I working for? And so on. And there's just so many questions that can be raised right out of the gate from the introduction. And I love that because that mystery just grasps you and makes you want to play this game and continue it. It's awesome. And as you'll see when we get into the lighthouse, things get even weirder, and it just adds to that mystery. And it's fantastic. Now, I really love the similarities between this introduction and the original introduction in Bioshock, because I feel like this introduction kind of pays tribute to the original Bioshock, with the lighthouse being the entrance, and it just does a good job of creating that feeling of not knowing what you're getting yourself into. And they've recreated that. I had that feeling when I played the first Bioshock, I was just kind of overwhelmed, and I really felt the same during this game as well. That recreation of that feeling is on spot. Now, when you see Columbia for the first time, which you'll see at the end of the video, you get that same feeling you got when you saw Rapture for the first time. So again, they succeeded in recreating that awe-inspiring feeling. The city is just gorgeous, it's beautiful, and you for that moment that you first lay eyes on the city, you really can just enjoy its beauty. And it was the same way with Rapture, where you're just like, wow, a city underwater, and now it's Columbia, so it's like a city in the sky. It's just awesome. It's really awesome. Now, getting to the city of Columbia, first off, it is absolutely gorgeous. And it's amazing to look at, and I really like the color palette that they went with on this game. I think it's a brighter, lighter sense than the original Bioshock, but it's cool and it works well. And I've been very impressed with the level of detail that was put into making this city seem real and believable. And one of the things that you'll notice when you start to explore Columbia is that this is a thriving city, and people are out and about, they're conversing, kids are playing, and so on, and everyone's just living their lives. And you come in the middle of it. It's a huge difference from the original Bioshock. And what impressed me the most is that people react to your presence when you're near or you approach them. And I thought that was really cool because the AI so far in this game is just phenomenal.
Is anyone here?
You approach people, you hear their conversations, they acknowledge you, they see you as a friend, just one of the people in Columbia. And it's really fun exploring Columbia and seeing its beauty. And you're encouraged to do so, and I encourage you to do so. And one of the things you'll run into are kiosks, which provide some insight into the city and really start to tell the backstory. And also the audio files, which are now called voxophones, they make a return in this game, and they even add more to that backstory and depth to some of the characters. Another thing about Columbia is that it's really cool to see the different parts of the city floating around you. Now, staring at one of the buildings might get one motion sickness, because you're constantly moving. So caution on that if you prone to motion sickness. And without trying to spoil anything for you, when you finally arrive in Columbia, you instantly get this feeling that something is not right. And when you play it, you'll know what I'm talking about. And I have a feeling that this plays a big part in the game and the story. Now onto the gameplay. The HUD, as you can see, is similar to Bioshock, but I feel like it's a little bit cleaner, yet it still has that familiarity to it. And I really enjoyed a new feature that they implemented, which is where you can press a button to see your objective, and an arrow will point you in the direction that you need to go. And I like it as opposed to the arrow that was just constantly pointing you in the direction that you were supposed to go. Because it disappears, so you know where you're supposed to go, and it's not just bugging you in the HUD. And I like this not only for that reason, but it also allows you to explore without accidentally continuing the story, which encourages exploration. And you can run in this game, which I think helps with the combat, and I myself have had to use it in several combat scenarios. And one of the most talked about things I think coming up to this was the skyhook and how it was going to be used in the rail system. And let me tell you, when you first hop on, it is intense and exhilarating. And the movement's fluid, you can get on and off, and you can even use it to jump building to building with the skyhook. And overall, it's just easy, and it's just an ease of player movement. It feels really polished, and you can tell they spent some time on it. Now on to the combat. Overall, the combat feels improved upon, and I feel like they've implemented elements from first-person shooters and the first and second Bioshocks. They've brought back dual wielding with plasmids, or they're now called vigors, where you have one in one hand and a weapon in the other. And this is nice because you can use both and kind of create combos that take down multiple foes at a time if you're facing multiple foes. Now, one of the biggest changes that they've made is the ability to aim down the sights with your weapons. And some people don't like it, but I feel like it works in this game, because it just makes aiming easier to do, and it makes it easier to get headshots, which is essentially one-shot kills. And they've added melee, which is really easy to do. You don't have to switch weapons, and it's quite effective as well, and I found that it comes in handy in some of those tight situations. The controllers overall work well, but I disliked the reload button being the same as the search button, because I found myself searching through bodies instead of reloading my gun in combat situations. So it was a little bit frustrating. Nothing I can do to really change that. It's easy to get over, but I really felt like this should have been the jump button instead of reload like it was in previous games. And one thing about the controls is I didn't feel like they did a 100% job in explaining them all. They explained most of them, but a couple things you got to figure out yourself. And once you do, they work really well, and it feels pretty solid. Minus the exception of that reload search button. Now, overall, the game feels great, and the story and mysteries have really grabbed me and intrigued me and just sucked me into this game and world. And I don't want to stop playing this game. I really like everything so far, minus the couple nitpicks, which aren't huge. And the game just feels polished, and it really feels like an upgrade from the previous games. So there you guys have it, my initial impressions after playing about the first 3 hours of Bioshock Infinite. Comment below, let me know what you guys think about the game so far. Maybe you've beat it. Let me know, because I'm looking forward to beating it and getting my review out there. If you like this video, give it a like and subscribe for more gameplays and my Bioshock Infinite review. Until next time, guys, I'm Bonfire, and I'll see you online.